Hi all, this is Mrs. Warner. I am going to talk you through the airplane graphs. You're going to do this as sideways partners. I don't have enough of these sets for you to do it individually, so you're going to work with a sideways partner. So when you get your bag, the first thing that you should do is you should go through it to check to make sure that you have everything. So you should have a total of 10 graphs, and you should have 10 stories, 10 tables, 10 equations, but you want to make sure that you have all of them, like that you don't have two graph 9s and you're missing graph 5. So I've gone through mine and I've made sure that I had everything. You may want to sort that. I want to talk through one of the harder ones with you. So this one. These are two graphs. They look kind of like the same graph, but they are not the same graph. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to think to yourself really quickly, just look at those, and can you tell what's different about them? Don't talk about it. Just think to yourself, see if you can figure out how are they different. Okay, so now I want you to turn to your sideways partner and tell them what you noticed. How are they different? Okay, if you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. Thank you. So hopefully what some of you noticed, some things that are the same, right here they're pretty much the same. They're both going up. They have the same steepness, right? Right here they're both going up. They're both flat. And here they're both going up, but is the steepness the same? It is not. The steepness is different there. One thing to notice about these graphs is look at the label. What's the label on the x-axis? Yep, time. And what is the scale? So if I go over 1, that is 1 minute. But what about this one? This is height in feet, and what is this counting by? Yep, it's going by 10, so this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's important as we read the stories. So I think it's easiest when I do this, I take all of the graphs and I spread them out across my desk, and then I match all the stories. So I'm going to tell you that this story matches one of these graphs. So after elevating, what does elevating mean? Yeah, it means going up. After elevating 30 feet in 2 minutes, Steve maintained his place. So let's see if they do that. 30 feet in 2 minutes. So this goes up 10, 20, 30 feet and 1, 2 minutes. This goes up 10, 20, 30 feet in 1, 2 minutes. They both do that. Steve maintained means he kept it the same at the same height for 2 more minutes. So 1, 2 minutes, it stayed the same. 1, 2 minutes, it stayed the same. Now, before elevating it at a slower rate, so which one of these goes at a slower rate? Graph 9 or graph 4? Turn to your sideways partner and tell them which one goes at a slower rate now. Yes, it is graph 4. So we are going to match this one, and then it brings it in for aligning. We can't actually see where it comes into aligning, but we can see that it starts going down. So I can see that graph 4 and D10 match each other. So I am going to take graph 4, here it is, and D10, and I'm going to write this in here. So will you please write in D10 next to the story? So to show you how to do the tables, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to do a different graph. We're going to look at this graph. And I want to match this to a table. So I'm going to look at this table right here and see if it matches. So this table says 0, 0. So at 0, I'm on the ground. Is that true? Yeah, it is. This table says that at 1 second, I'm 15 feet in the air. Does this one do that? No, it doesn't. So I'm going to see if there's another one that matches. Does that match that one? Does this one start at 0, 0? Nope, doesn't. So I'm going to only look at ones that start at 0, 0. Does that one start at 0, 0? Sure does. Does this one start at 0, 0? Nope. Does this one start at 0, 0? Yeah, it does. I'm just going to get all my 0, 0s here. What about that one? Yep. That one starts at 0, 0. Does this one start at 0, 0? Yes, it does. What about that one? What about that one? Nope, that one's out. Doesn't start at 0, 0. Okay, so now I'm looking for all the ones that might be at 1, 15. So this is at 1, and you know that might be 15, so I'm going to keep that one. This one is 1, and that might be 15, so I'll keep that one. 1, that's definitely not at 15. 1, 30, yeah, that's no good. And 1, 10, that's no good. Okay, so now I've got it narrowed down to these two graphs. So now I'm looking for 230. So 230, boom, there it is. 230, they both do that. Now I'm looking for 430. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That is definitely not at 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is at 30. So it looks like it's got to be this one. Graph 9 and T6 match. So I am going to, and you know what? I'm just going to double check. So this is 30, 36. Is it 60? That looks good. And 10 is at 30. That looks good. So I know that T6 and G9 match. G9, T6. Alright, so with the story and the table, you are required to do those. When you think you've got all the stories in the tables right, go take your paper to the sub, and he or she will tell you they will tell you not which ones you have incorrect, but if you have any correct. So if you have 2 of them that are incorrect, they'll tell you that you have 2 that are incorrect. If you have 3 that are incorrect, they'll tell you that there are 3 incorrect. When you get to where you don't have any incorrect, then you're done with the story and the table, and if you finish those 2, then I want you to try the equations. Leave the equations for the end though. So, let me show you how the equations work. Let's match the equation for this one. How many parts does this have? Like right here where it's going up, that's 1 part. So how many different parts does this have? Turn to your sideways partner and tell them how many different parts this has. Ready, go. Good. Okay, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. So I'm looking for a set of equations that have 4 equations. And this one has 1, 2, 3, so it's not that one. This one only has 1, 2, so it's not that one. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, not that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's possible. Let's see if that down here. 1, 2, 3, not that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. 1, 2, nope. 1, 2, 3, nope. 1, 2, nope. So that's the easiest way to narrow down is how many parts do you have? Narrow down to there. Now, how many minutes does this first part go from? Like I start at 0, and then it's going up for 1, 2 minutes. So it's going up from 0 minutes to 2 minutes. So I'm looking for something where the first part goes from 0 to 2 minutes. That one does that. This one goes from 0 to 2 minutes. This one goes from 0 to 2 minutes. Alright, so now the second part goes from 2 to 4. 2 to 4, 2 to 4, 2 to 4. They all do that. This one goes from 4 to 6. 4 to 6. 4 to 7. Not that one. 4 to 6. Okay, so now Now I need to look at what's happening here. So this one has a positive slope, then a negative slope, then a positive slope, then it's flat. So if it's going to be slanted, it needs to have an x. So both of these start out with a positive slope, 30x, 15x. That's good. This one has a negative slope, negative 15x. And this one is flat, so that's no good. So I already know it's not that one, because this one doesn't have an x, so this one goes flat after it goes up. But let's look at this one again. So it's positive, then negative, then positive, and then it's flat up here at 90. So I know that graph 5 matches with equation 10, and I'm going to write that in. Graph 5 matches with equation 10, and that is as much as I'm going to do with you. So what I want you to do now, double check and make sure that you have your name written on your paper. Please scoot your desk next to your sideways partner. And then one of you, please go and get a bag of cards. Double check, make sure that you have all the cards. The sub should have a bag that has extras if you're missing anything. Make sure that you turn this in whether you finish it or not. Thank you.